Hello, welcome back to RichTech. Today we are going to repair this MagSafe 2 charger. Of course, here is the charger itself, still detached from the cable at that point. And the cable is filthy and dirty. That's one end of it. This is the other end of it, and here is where most of our repairs will be concentrated. There is some masking tape which has been wound over this point, and the cable looks to be shredded, or at the very least I'm suspecting that the insulation at this point is damaged, but it's obvious the outer insulation which forms part of the joint has been destroyed. So let's get into this repair and see if we can transform this cable and this charger into one complete and new, so to speak, charger. Welcome. To begin with, let's find out what lies down underneath masking tape. Something strange lies underneath here. This is interesting. Never seen one like this before. Looks like a snake coiled around the cable here. Here's a piece of wire which was used to do some repairs. This is interesting. But I think I know what this owner, the person who repaired this, was aiming at. I think he wanted, or she wanted, to have a strong junction at this point and didn't know how to go about it. So he wound this piece of wire around this point so as to make it strong, and then put the masking tape on top. It worked for as long as he had it, I think so, until the damage increased, and now this had to be thrown away. You can see there is a dent also at the corner there. It seems it was hit. Now, having seen this damage, we will proceed as follows. First of all, we want to make sure that this portion is covered, insulated, and that's easier bit. The portion which is tricky is this portion up here. The outer insulation is completely worn out, as you can see there, and now we'll need to put a new insulation at that point. So to put a new insulation, we either have to cut right here or here and push a new insulation, and this cable on the inside, it seems to be okay. There's no break in the wires, so cutting here will be giving ourselves a lot of work for nothing. So how we'll go about this is that we'll put another insulation, outer insulation, at that point on the connector, but we will have to pass it through this end. Of course, I've tested this wire or this cable and it's working. Here's the junction that I'm going to use at that point. I've got it from another cable, and as I said, I'm going to slide it through there all the way up to here. But for it to come here, we have to clear out this piece which is remaining and also remove this cable holder. So let's get down to this. So using a razor, cut off this outward destroyed insulation. Make sure not to cut the inner one. Next, we want to remove this cable holder from here, and we want to slide it over this portion, but this end here may obstruct it. So we need also this side to be neat. This looks much neater. Now this can be replaced or can be used as it, but I'm seeing it's worn out, it's old and crusty, so I'll have to replace that. This other end of the cable is a bit neater, but we'll need to make it more neat. Be sure not to cut all the negative wires away because you'll have no connection at the end. At this end, we'll cut off the insulation at this, roughly that point. What determines where we cut is that insulation. We want to form a joint right here, or a junction, and the junction should be this rubber insulation. So at this point it will be hidden, so I can remove this outer rubber insulation. Now this cable is dirty, especially on the inner bit or on top of this negative wire, so I want to clean on top of this one and remove the greenish substance. After some more cleaning and trimming of excess wire or damaged wire, this is what we have. It's clean. I've only cleaned this portion. This other end you can see still filthy, but this is starting to look like what we want at the end. Next is to pull this insulation all the way up to there to cover this exposed portion. After lots of pulling, we are nearly there, and this is the point where we bring in the super glue, and this is how the insulation will sit once the super glue is added. Wipe off excess glue before it dries. Next, let's bring our rubber junction right there. So again, we slide it all the way to the end. We also apply super glue at this junction and quickly slide the junction on top all the way to the end. Then wipe off excess glue quickly. The cloth I'm using is soaked in water, so the glue can't hold on to it. It's also good protection for your fingers. And that's it. Do not forget the cable holder. So we do away with the old crusty one, we put this new presentable one. And as we're done with the insulation, we'll still thread it from this end. If you forget it, all this work may be in vain. We'll have to do the cable without a cable holder. There is a cable holder right in place. It will hold our cable that way. Next is to put this junction at this point. This is at the point where the cable meets the charger board itself. We have this ready, but if you want to know how I make this, I have other videos which have shown how to prepare this junction. The junction is in place. Now to prepare this end for soldering. Preparation of this end is fairly straightforward. Cut off this outer insulation, expose the wires, separate them, then we'll apply some solder at these ends. So the next thing is just to join them together. Then insulate before we solder the next one. So let's solder the negative one. Soldered, strong, insulating. Now to affix this junction at that point, still with glue. And then all this assembly, push it inside. That looks good. Now to finish this off, we'll reinstall the clips, and this side has to wait for us to apply the glue. So go ahead and quickly apply this glue. Now I close everything up. That looks like a nice fix. And here is the finished product. I've cleaned it, looks more presentable. Here is the junction, or the connector, sorry. The cable, and our charger is ready for a new lease of life. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, kindly give it a like, and consider subscribing to the channel. I really do appreciate it.